Yes, good morning. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. And never a dull day at Spurs. Lots going on, lots of incomings in the first half of the window. Now it looks like we're starting to get to a lot of the outgoings, mainly on loan, but nevertheless, people are leaving. I'm going to be talking this morning and asking you lot about, are we doing the same old? Are we getting rid of these players on loan like we do every year, just to have the can kicked a bit further down the road? Every year we seem to do this, don't we? Loan out, loan out, loan out. We'll sell next window. Next window we'll sell. Then we don't, and it's another loan. Tanganga this time has gone on loan with no option to buy for Millwall. No option to buy. Serge Reguilon has gone to Brentford. No option to buy. This is becoming a bit of a theme, isn't it? The no option to buy for Spurs. Is this a case of no one wants the players? They're not good enough. Is this a case that Spurs believe there might be something in these players to come back and contribute? Is it a case that they don't know? What do you reckon it is? Not saying either one is right or wrong, but it does seem to be a pattern. Lots of news going around, about Itakura. Again, Plettenberg has said today that there is a 10 to 15 million euro release clause in his contract in the summer. And apparently the player was keen to join up with Postecoglou, and Postecoglou wanted him. So that will be very, very interesting to keep an eye on. Yeah, Itakura. So that would be another centre half. Not this window. They're talking about the summer. So keep an eye on that. That's Borussia Mönchengladbach. A centre half that I've seen play a couple of times. I wouldn't be able to say how great he is. When I saw him, I thought he looked decent. I haven't seen enough of him to sit there and say, "Oh God, I desperately want this player at my football club." But we'll see. We can all go and watch him. We've seen in the last 12 hours, we've had a here we go, not for Spurs, but Jordan Henderson is joining Ajax. I'm going to be talking today about what's happened to the Saudi League. It all seemed so glamorous, so wonderful and alluring, and people could smell the money. And that's now Benzema who wants to leave. Jordan Henderson has left. Jota apparently wants to leave there as well. A few other noises of players that don't seem to be too settled in Saudi. Is it a case of eyes bigger than belly, if anyone likes that as an analogy? We all know what that means, right? You know, when I put too much food on my plate at the all-you-can-eat, and then there's a mountain of food left. So let me know what you think about that. The Saudi Pro League, and would you take players from that league? Lots of people say things like, I don't want them. They went there mercenaries. They went there for the money. But look, all people make mistakes. And would no one here move for that vast amount of money? I think Jordan Henderson was on like 700 grand a week. Would you not move for 700 grand a week? I'm just putting it out there. I'm just playing devil's advocate, throwing it out there. Let me know. As far as Tottenham Hotspur go, we know that Japhet Tanganga. Let's have a look. Let's see what our man Fabrizio Romano has said. Hopefully you can all see this. It says there that Japhet Tanganga's loan move to Millwall will not include any buy option clause. Straight loan till the end of the season for Spurs. Both Tanganga and Reguilon back in June. Let's talk about this, and I'll do some hellos in the morning after I've asked this question and started to get some answers that we can go through. Is anyone worried about this? It does feel, doesn't it? Like, listen, it doesn't matter whether you love Levy, hate Levy, love Postecoglou, hate Postecoglou, love Johan Lang, Paratici. It just seems that this is what the club does. We seem to get a lot of players that go out on loan every year. Brian Hill's had many of them. Jed Spencer's had many of them. Joe Rodon's had many of them. Reguilon now has had many of them. This will be Tanganga's second loan. We seem to get a lot of players that go out on loan and never then actually end up at that club on a permanent basis, but never end up back in the Spurs fold. They end up at Spurs just to go back out again. What do we think? Is it a case that some of these players should have their contracts ripped up? Is it too expensive? Can they do a job? I believe that Reggie coming back in the summer means that he's got 1 year left. Somebody in the chat will tell me if I'm lying. I believe that Reggie will have 1 year left on his contract. Oh, brilliant. We started as we mean to go on. We've lost 2 subscribers. Haven't even done anything yet. Haven't even got into any questions. Big up to you guys and girls out there. But what we should do is there's over 125 of you in here and growing. Please smash that like button. Only 27 likes, which is really, really poor. So please like, please subscribe. The link is in the chat. It felt like we were flying, and now people have stopped just short of the 13K. So come on, smash that button, people. Let me know your thoughts. We'll have a quick look, see what else Fabrizio Romano is saying about anything. There we go, exclusive that Jordan Henderson. Oh, no, that wasn't it. Sorry. Here's one about Benfica are finally closing in on Benjamin Reisa. Don't know too much about him, if I'm honest. It's Jordan Henderson Day at Ajax. There we go. He's on his way to Amsterdam for medicals. Deal valid until June 2026. So a 2.5 year guaranteed deal for Jordan Henderson. I think it's a good deal for him. Why not go and experience something different? Where are we? I just wanted to get to lots of Jordan Henderson news, as we saw. Hoffenheim are closing in on the signing of David Jurasek from Benfica. Decent player, seen him play. The Tanganga news. Let's hope that Tanganga can get some minutes. Yeah, surely he'll be able to get some minutes. Who's at my front door? Why is there anyone? Oh, it's a cat. It's always a cat at my front door. Surely he'll go straight into the Millwall setup, won't he? Surely. Let me know what you think. He'll go to Millwall. He'll get some games. Surely. This can't be another one where we flick on the Millwall team lineup and he's on the bench and not playing. Surely he's got to play. Let's have a look and see who's in the chat as we get some of your comments and start getting some conversation rolling. Everyone who doesn't know my morning show, it's always about getting the conversation rolling. I'll talk through a few things that have happened. I'll get your comments and then we'll go off the back of that. If you're easily offended, please don't be in my comments. If you're easily offended, we talk football. It's real talk. It's not fluffy. Oh, everyone's great. Sunshines and rainbows. Spurs are going to win every game 5-0. If you want that, there are YouTubers that do it. Not this one. Good morning to you, Adam. Good morning. Morning, Hennessy as well. We've got Adam, Hennessy, John Clark's in the chat. Good morning to you. We've got that fraud. Get the fraud Arteta out of my club. He's in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. Legacy in the chat as well. How are you? Anthony Rodriguez, Andy Fenny, Cillian or Gillian. Let me know if it's Cillian or Killian. Is it Killian with a C or Cillian with an S sounding? Ronnie, so Savva the Savage. Big up, Ronnie. Hope you're well. Paul 123 in the chat. He thinks there'll be no more signings. Let me know in the chat. We're going to talk about that as well. Lots of links to wingers. None that really do it for me, if I'm honest. Lots of links to wingers and midfielders that are all young. We're being linked with Hackney, Wharton, Rowe, Illing Jr. It feels like we've gone very much back to let's just buy lots of young players and hope that they all come good at the same time type of vibe, which worries me greatly. Morning to Shem Tan. I hope you're well. He's simply said, or he or she, sorry, I don't know which one it is. I said, no option to buy because no one wants our players. But surely Millwall would want an option to buy Japhet Tanganga. Now, whilst I don't think Japhet Tanganga is anywhere near good enough for Tottenham Hotspur, surely he's good enough for Millwall down the bottom half of the championship table. Surely. Big up to Killian. Said, please subscribe and like. Yes, please do. I can't believe we've gone backwards today. We've been going for 9 minutes. Nothing controversial has happened. Smash that subscribe button, people. Phil Coy said, good morning, Spurs fans. Any transfer news? Lots of links, Phil. Lots of links to younger players. Nothing that makes me think we're serious as a football club. Lots of links to younger players. I think, like most of you, I'm probably living in hope, stroke delusion, stroke fancy world that in the next 13 days, you pick up the paper. God, what am I? God, Jesus, what am I, 1990? You wake up in the morning, you look online and you see Spurs in bid for Jimenez, Spurs in bid for this top winger. I don't think we will. I don't think we've got the appetite for it, but we will see. We will see. It looks like Werner's going to be our only attacking option in this window, which is, some like it, some don't, some are on the fence about it. The word I like to use is meh. Big up to 7SC. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you are doing well. Big up to Philly, the brother from another mother. How you doing, bro? Said, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Stewie's come to join us now as well. Come on, Stewie. You might be able to see his little head if I remove that. Can you see him? There you go. Look, there he is. Look. Oh, look. His little... Stewie, you're not quite tall enough to be seen. But I put his new basket there. Big up to Dave H. Big up to you. I did get your message yesterday on YouTube. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not on any social media. It's just, if you're a YouTuber or someone who does content, the amount of abuse and hate, you can put out a video just saying something really nice and you'll get abuse and hate. So it's just not worth it for me. And it gives me lots of hours back onto my mobile phone each day, if I'm brutally honest. So no, unfortunately, I'm not on. Where are we? Sorry, is this breaking news? No, this was yesterday's news. People send me things and I go, oh yeah, hang on. No. So sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought there. Let's keep going. Philly has said Ruben Neves. Another one, yeah, Ruben Neves, I would have loved him in our midfield. I think a player that could get his foot on the ball, calm things down, like a player like that. Hennessy said, believe we are just kicking it down the road and not pulling the trigger when it comes to selling them. Interesting. No right or wrong theories here. They're just theories. So, yeah, absolutely. Come on, guys. Let's get 2 subscribers immediately. Let's do it. Give me a little bit of faith to keep going in these morning shows. Otherwise, it feels like people are getting a bit bored of them. So let me know and smash that subscribe button. The link is in the chat. Morning to Siraj. Good morning to Rodney Roberts. Good morning, brother. Hope you're well. Hit the bar. I said grass ain't always greener. Yeah. I mean, the bank balance might be, but in terms of career and tempo of football and ability-wise, would you want to do it? I don't know. Would you take those players? I'm sure I'll be reading a few comments in a minute. Good morning to Cantab, another channel member. Hope you're well, my friend. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Richard Pugh, another channel member. Big up to you. I said, grand risings all. Big up, Savva. Let's have a like party. Let's do it. Let's have a like party, shall we? At the moment, where are we with likes? Only 62 likes, Richard. Come on, get your troops going in the chat. Kate, good morning to you. I hope you are well. Bill has said we'll be loaning Jaffet out when he's 35. I think the worrying thing was I saw today, whenever you look at his stats, he's played 55 games of football by the age of 24. He's nearly 25. Some players play that in a year. So it is worrying. It looks like his career is fizzling away and he really needs to resurrect it. John Clark has said, are we going to end up with a Doherty and Aurier situation where we end up releasing players out of contract as they're not really wanted by anyone? Quite possibly, John. Quite possibly. Rob Ski has said, loan in an attempt the players get better, but no hope Deadwood get rid. Yeah, I think it's difficult. I mean, realistically, is anyone going to watch Tanganga play for Millwall and say, oh, we'll have that guy for 20 million? I don't know, 5 million, 7 million maybe. Hennessy, I said it's a very boring procedure. Why can't we just sell these players who clearly we don't want? Well, yeah, look, do people want them? Are we asking too much? I don't know. I think what we do a lot is the excuses I hear a lot are the January window, but then we do it in the summer window as well. And I don't know what the excuse is for that window. Good morning to a user who said, morning. I wonder what the costs were around the loans for Reggie and Tanganga. Yeah, I'm sure we'll find that out in the coming days. I'm sure we will. Richard Huckle says, Savva, you're a Billy. Whenever someone disagrees with you, you go personal like you did with Lee Gunner. I didn't go personal on Lee Gunner, but never mind. Good morning to you, Richard Huckle. Everybody say hello to Richard. Ryan McFarland, morning, Savva, and the chat. Good morning to you, Ryan. Billy said, I know he is nearly 37, but Benzema wants to leave Saudi Arabia. Let's get him in for 6 months. He is still quality. I guess you need to ask yourself the question, does he have the hunger? Would Spurs want to take on his massive wages? Would Postecoglou want him? I mean, listen, I'd take him for 6 months up front for sure. I'm just trying to, again, all I ever do, devil's advocate, sit on asking difficult questions. Yeah, I think a lot of people get me wrong. I always ask the difficult questions to cause the debate, to look at both sides of it. So let me know what you think, Billy. Kate has said, can't get rid of these players, always on loan. This is bad management. Rip up these contracts. Interesting. 7SC said, we send so many players on loan, we may as well change our name to Blockbuster. Yeah, people just coming in, taking our players, sending them back, hopefully rewinding them. Remember those days? Big up, by the way. Here is the link. If anyone would like to subscribe, please do. We've had 2 unsubscribed today and not 1 subscriber. Very disheartening, if I'm going to be brutally honest. Bill has said we were ripping 10 contracts up last year, apparently. Yeah, I think we all knew that was never going to happen. You remember, Bill? People are going, I mean, this is why when you see the journalists, I can't remember it was, but I remember 2 reputable ones said Spurs are ripping up 10 contracts in the summer. We haven't ripped up 1. So, again, don't believe everything you see. Not you, I just mean people in general. Mauler has said we'd sell if it was possible. Ripping up contract doesn't help, just satisfies annoyed fans. Yeah, sorry, for me, this is just absolutely, this is what the club love. People that will just sit there and go, we'd sell if it was possible. Lots of noise throughout the years that Daniel Levy wants stupid money for these players that are fringe players. Why is everyone else able to sell their players and we can't sell any of ours? It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, Mauler. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't think it's annoyed fans. I think it's fans that are just getting a bit bored of seeing the same old Deadwood not going anywhere. If we rip up the contract, it will cost us more. Better off loaning and recoup what we can and then make sure recruitment makes better decisions. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that we're better off loaning and recouping. I don't know what we're recouping. All we're doing is getting their contract to the point where they're going to leave on a free. I need that to make sense to me in my head, a user. We're just running down their contracts and then they'll leave on a free. So I don't quite get it. Other than Harry Kane, who have we made any? Here's a question. Other than Harry Kane, can anyone name a player? Can anyone name some players in the last 5 years where we've made good money from them? I mean, I think we may have made 20 million maybe from Bergwijn. I can't think where we've made money, like proper money for a player. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Yeah, absolutely. Kate said, Savva, my likes are done when I come in. I know, Kate, absolutely. We know your likes are done. Yeah, absolutely. We know your likes are done. We know this man's likes are done. He said Reggie's contract expires this season, it seems, Sav. Is it this season? So he's got 6 months left. No, that can't be right, can it, Richard? Let's have a look. Serge Reguilon. Serge Reguilon, Spanish footballer. Let's see when his contract runs out. I want Serge Reguilon transfer market. Right, Serge Reguilon transfer market. His contract. Come on, where's his contract? Contract expires. Wow, it does. Wow, Richard, that's mad. No, hang on. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It expires June 2025. Sorry, right. Okay, so I've looked on transfer market. The first thing that says contract expires, but they're talking about. Here you go. I'll show you. Here you go. Let me bring this up. Present. Share screen. Serge Reguilon. Okay, hopefully people can see that there. You can see. So I first saw that where it said expires May 31st, 2024, and then realised that his actual contract at Tottenham expires 2025. So again, I mean, how much will he be worth in the summer? 8 million, 9 million. I mean, who's going to buy him? Look, lots of questions that we keep going round and round and round every year with the same old players. And unfortunately, what it does show is just how poor some of our recruitment has actually been, doesn't it? And we're paying that price now for that. Big up Yogi Bear said, what's wrong with loaning players? Just give them game time that they wouldn't be likely to get if they stayed in the Spurs team at the present moment. Yogi, I think you're coming from a completely different angle to the rest of us here. I don't think we're talking about there's nothing wrong with loaning players out to get game time. The problem is at some point you've got to make some money from your deadwood. We talk a lot about this. Sean and I talk about this a lot on his channel, that, you know, if we want to buy players, at some point, you've got to start making some money back from selling players. It can't just constantly be the owners putting money in or revenue that's been made. You've got to sell some players at some point. You know, if you look at Liverpool, they sell footballers. Man City sell players. Chelsea sell players. You've got to start getting some money in. It's just basic in any business, right? You can't just keep buying. You've got to bring some money in. And every year there isn't going to be a Harry Kane to sell for 100 million. Philly, as the Spurs have had that for years, players we can't get rid of, so the club send them on loan. How many loans did Carter Vickers go on? Yeah, and then how much did we sell him for in the end? Rob78 has said, enjoy the Millwall fans, Jaffet. Lovely bunch. Yeah, he's in for an interesting time there. He's in for an interesting time. Big up to Colin. What am I doing? Nick, big up Barry. Said big up everyone. Smash the likes and hit the subscribe. Honestly, Barry, I can't believe it. We can't get last night's show, this show. We can't get a single subscriber, which is really sad, but never mind. Nicky has said, sweeten up Brentford for a Tony bid. Spurs are not going to buy Ivan Toney. I can bet you my mortgage that Spurs are not going to be the destination of Ivan Toney. If this man goes on the market, it's going to be to Chelsea, Man United or Arsenal. They are going to bid more than us. They're going to pay more than us. They're going to give him bigger salary. And this guy is going to go to one of those clubs. I can guarantee it right now. Big up Guernsey Spurs. Big up, Glenn. Hope you're well, my friend. Cantab. Yeah, some of the other clubs have bought a player this window. There's been nothing earth-shattering. I think Villa bought a kid the other day. Brighton have bought a kid. Both of those clubs have sent that kid back out on loan. None of the big clubs I don't think any of the big clubs well, no, we know. We would have known by now. There's 13 days of the window. I would expect in the next 3 or 4 days you'll start to see some movement from the Man U's, from the Arsenals, from Chelsea, Villa. I would think depends on who needs to do something. I don't think Villa really need to do a lot. If I'm brutally honest right now, I think Liverpool and City don't have to do a lot. Arsenal and United are the ones I'm surprised haven't moved yet. And I know that both of those fan bases are going to be extremely, extremely frustrated if they don't do anything in this window. So watch this space. Burner Ash said, morning, Savva. Looking forward to the return of football this weekend. A lot of opinion Villa will fall off second half. I think they might surprise. Look, I think Villa are a good team. Villa, for me, will be right there with Spurs and Arsenal. I think those teams will win, lose and draw. I don't think they'll keep pace with the others. But I think Villa are a good team. They've got too much quality for me to just fall away completely. So I think you'll be right up there where Spurs and Arsenal are. And I think it's going to be a really interesting dogfight between those three teams. Paul123 said, we won't make any significant signings. Maybe another youngster, as you said, Savva. A lot of links with them players. Yeah, we are linked to loads and loads of young players, which is, it's fine. It's fine. But for me, it feels very much like, isn't this what we were just doing at the old stadium, where it was constantly 18, 19-year-olds and hopefully they come in and everyone calls them generational and then they go out on loan for a few years and then we're sitting there going, well, hang on, there's no money to go and buy top players because we just bought 5 kids at £15 million each. So we'll see. We'll see. Hit the bar. He thinks we'll do something at the end of the window. Yeah, possibly. I think we might make a late move for somebody. I think it will be a free or a loan. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be surprised when Spurs actually go out and put some money down on someone. I don't mean on 21-year-old centre-backs for 25 million. I mean, like, go and shock the football world. Lots of clubs are struggling with FFP, this kind of thing. We're not. Go and make a statement. Go and shock the world. It's not what we do. Good morning, Kate. Just a girl who loves Spurs. Good morning. I am very, very well, Kate. I am very, very well. I hope you are as well. Please get over there and subscribe to Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Tony has said, we are linked to many young players. I want to see Santiago get a few minutes. We took him to the club for a reason. Tony, do you know what? This is the thing. When we're constantly linked with Jonathan Rose, no offense to him, Jonathan Rowe, Hackney, Wharton, all of these young players, are we saying that Donnelly, Santiago, Dorrington, are none of these worth a go before those players are bought for 5 to 10 million? Have we not got any from this youth team that has been really, really good that can't come in and get a few minutes? It doesn't quite make sense for me. We never seem to want to look inwards. But, hey, I don't know. Kate has said, this is the problem with this club. Don't go for quality. We need in the first team. Probably Levy hasn't changed. Listen, I can see changes. Have we changed enough to go from here to there? Not in my opinion yet. Could we? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we can. Fingers crossed. Time will tell. Tony, yeah, I'd like Cristante. I can't see the club buying him. 28 years of age. I would, by the way. I don't think that they're going to buy someone for 28 at 28 years of age. I don't. But again, Italian international, good, big, strong player, physical player, good on the ball. Yeah, I'd take him from Roma all day. Daniel said possibly a number 6 or a number 8. Possibly, yeah, I'd like to see that. Kingy said players do not want to reduce their weekly wages yet. There's definitely that to it. At some point, some of these players, though, are going to have to make that decision of, do I take a lesser salary and play in my career, or do I just waste 4, 5, 6 years sitting on a bench, not playing and earning a bigger wage? I suppose it depends what type of character you are. Good morning to Stephen Dash. Good morning to you. Said morning, Savva. Perchy is fine, by the way. Perchy is fine. He is having time. So he's come off of YouTube and social media. And trust me, when people do that, it is such a quieter, more happy life. Perchy is fine. I spoke to him yesterday. Okay, I said, God, we have got some crap. But one good signing, one average loan. Need more. I agree. Yeah, I agree, Kate. I think this is the thing. I'm seeing a lot of people going, there you go. You ate Levy. Look how well he's done. And I'm like you, Kate. I've gone, whoa, hang on. We've signed a 21-year-old centre-back from a mid-table Italian team and a player on loan who is very 50-50 with a fan base. Nothing's happened so far that's made me go, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Daniel Levy, I am sorry. I bow down to you. I think everyone's got a little bit carried away. And you know why, Kate? It's because of the time we bought them in. If we had done those 2 signings on the last day of the window, I don't think everyone goes quite as doolally as they have been. I'm not saying they're bad. I really like Dragashin. I'm 50-50 on Werner. But if they had been last day signings, I don't think the whole foray around it would be the same. Let me know what you think. John M, big up to you, said, I don't think we did anything to help his development. Tanganga, yeah? He was kept around the first team too long. When he broke through and should have been sent on loan, it has backfired. Yeah, quite possibly. Look, every time you got a young player, first things first, and I was taught this a long time ago, not every young player develops. Not every young player is going to be good. But on the other side is what you're saying. Could they have developed more if they'd gone out on loan? I don't know. What I do know is that if he doesn't start playing soon, his career is just going to fizzle out, and no one wants that. So we need him to get a club, get some game time, and I wish him the best with it all. Mighty Spurs said, morning, Savva. Was it -4 outside this morning where you are? No, I don't think so. I mean, it's one of those, I don't know if you can see there where it looks lovely. It looks really sunny. But I can see there is ice on everything. So it is cold. I don't know if it's -4 cold. Let me have a look. No, it's definitely not -4 cold. It's definitely not -4. I've just looked at the on my home screen. It's definitely not -4 cold at all. Big up, keep smashing the like button, people, and subscribe. Can we get to 12,870 before the end of this show? That's 11 subscribers. Really want to get to that 13K. Richard Pugh has said a little under half on the likes to watching ratio. Let's get this up further, people. Bang on, Richard. This is the positivity we need. Big up to you. Big up to you. Every player had a price, which means our Deadwood is overpriced. Yeah, I fail to believe that no one would pay for any of these players. It's just how much are we asking for? By the way, Brian Hill has said in the last 24 hours that he wants to stay and fight for his place under Postecoglou. What do you make of that as fans? Is there a future for him here? Where does he fit in? Can anyone see it working? He's been here a long time now and it's never quite worked. Another one where it looks like he's just going to fizzle out. I'm just going to have a look and see... hang on, Brian Hill transfer market. Brian Hill transfer market. Right, let's have a look. Let's see what's going on with Brian Hill, player profile. Again, another one that he's been here a while. Nothing's really happening with him. And his contract runs out in 2 years. So his contract runs out in June of 2026. So he's been here for 3 years, 3.5 years now, and nothing's really happened with him. Again, it feels like another waste of a footballer. He needs to play. He needs to go somewhere and feel loved. Right, I asked about people getting money for players. Daniel has said Dyer. No, I mean money, like money. I'm not talking money. Carrick and Bale. If we're going to look at Gareth Bale, we're going back a decade, 11 years, whatever it was. Yeah. Bale, yeah, as I said, other than Kane, was my question. Other than Kane, last 5-6 years, money we've made from players, like good money. Yeah, Bale left in 2013. Phil Coys said, I have a feeling that we will use one of our Deadwood players in a player plus cash deal for a standout signing near the end of the window. Harry Redknapp, one down the window vibes. Phil, I love your ultra positivity. When was the last time Spurs had a standout signing? Come on, mate. This is Spurs. I just got told by many, many fans, Phil, that Timo Werner was the best we could get. Now I'm hearing we can make standout signings. Oh, dearie, dearie me. I do love you so much, Phil. Always have, always will. Top guy. I believe that James Maddison is training with a team. I believe so. Anyone else in the chat might be able to tell you differently, but I believe he is. Winks and Dyer. Winks, yeah. What did we make? Was it 11 million for Winks? You know, I'm talking about money you can invest. Christian Eriksen, what did he go for? 14 million? Let's have a look. Christian Eriksen, what did he sign for? This is what I mean. We don't sell anyone for money. Like, but when I say for money, I don't mean like 10, 11 million. I mean like money that can be invested. How much did we sell him for? Was it 11 million, 14 million, something like that? I don't know at the time. Stanikush has said Tony will go for 100 million anyways. Yeah, Tony is not going to join Spurs. We would never whack down the money needed for an Ivan Toney. Tony will go to Arsenal. If he goes to Chelsea and he's a fool, why? Why would he be a fool to go to Chelsea? I think, isn't he everything that they're missing? A hold-up forward who'll bring others into play, score goals, someone they can whip balls into. Why? Why would he be a fool to go to Chelsea? Cantab said, can any top club afford Tony with all this? Well, mate, I have no idea what's going on with all this FFP stuff now. It really does seem to be killing football. We'll see. By the way, I'm just looking here, and when people say to me about that, I'm looking at Liverpool's goal scorers in all competitions this season. They've got it on the screen right now. And I look at it and you go, yeah, Mo Salah's their main guy who's got 18. And then Yotta's got 9, Gakpo's got 9, Nunes has got 8, and Luis Diaz has got 6. So you think 9, 18, 20, 32 goals between Yotta, Gakpo, Nunes, and Diaz. 32 goals plus 18 from Salah. So their forwards between them have scored 50 goals in all competitions, and it's only January. That is why when I say to people we need better than Kulu, than Hill, than Werner, than Brennan Johnson, than Valise, that is what I'm talking about. 50 goals exactly. Let me just quickly work that out. 18, 9 is 27. That's 36. 36 is 8 is 44. Add the 6 is 50. Yeah, 50. And then Jones and Soboslai have got 4 each. We don't have that. We need that. We need that to compete. We need goal scorers. It's all right grabbing 1 or 2 here or there, but 9, 9, 8 and 6 for your backup 4 is not bad, is it? Elder said we'll probably loan out Calvin Phillips for a fee. Yes, I mean, lots of clubs apparently very interested in him, Elder. Where do you think he should go, mate? As a Man City fan, where do you think he should go or will end up? Come on, guys. We've had 1 subscriber. There's over 240 of you in here. 1 subscriber in 35 minutes. Come on, where is the love? Every morning I get up, I give you an hour and a half show. Then I've got a 3 o'clock Football Fever show with Rom, with Monts and Kaz. And then at 8 p.m, we've got Spurs Unleashed. Show some love. It's hard work going into this. Big up Alex Gonzalez. I hope you're well. Lee, good morning, Savva. I don't want Gallagher. I think we should aim for better players. He's good, but not good enough. I completely disagree. I think when you look at his stats across the year, he's very, very good at nearly everything he does. He's just not sexy on the eye to look at. For me, he's a perfect Postecoglou player. I respect your opinion. I just think he would be perfect in a squad. I truly, truly do think he would be great for us. Where are we? Leah said Devine and Phillips will be in the first team next season. I think, look, with European football, you've got to have a bigger squad. So you'd like to think that a couple of these youngsters will be in there and getting some game time. Would you rather 2 60+ million players, any position, or 4 to 5, 15 to 30 million legit prospects or players? Look, I think for me, it depends. Who are the 2 60+ million pound players? For me, I'm not a fan of just spending big money for spending big money's sake, but I'm a fan of buying top players. As I said, like when West Ham signed Mohamed Kudus, that for me is what I want to see. Players like that, they don't have to be 30. They don't have to be 27. This guy, you could see, just a great footballer. Daryl, big up to you. I said, if we get Europe, would like us to try to get Enzo Lafie from Rennes. Can't tell me we can't buy him and buy some youth. Daryl, look, there's plenty of players like Lafie out there. There's loads of good players across Europe. I don't want us to just constantly have to dip into lower half Premier League teams and Championship teams to find players. It's what we were doing. It's what we've been doing for years. We've had no success. Ron has said the under-21s are 100% win record in their league, so must be some quality. For sure. There's got to be. There's got to be. John Clark has said not many young players come to the Prem from lower leagues, adapt like Dele Alli did. We all hope they will, but proof says otherwise. Yeah, of course. Of course. And even then, you don't know how they're going to progress, as we saw with Dele Alli. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think every now and then it works, and then we think it's going to work with every player. And that's why every time I mention Brennan Johnson, people say things to me like, oh, but look at Bale. Oh, look at Dele Alli. It's like, yeah, but just because it's worked with one doesn't mean it works for all. Where are we? Good morning to you, Stack Row. Good morning. Good morning. Have we been smashing the like buttons? 121 means 130 if you haven't smashed it. Come on, guys and girls, and keep smashing that subscribe button. I can't believe how tight everyone has got lately. Feels like the more hard work I put in, the less reward there is. Come on, people. Smash that button. Philly, I said, big up, Tony. The FFP trophy can go next to the Groundkeeper of the Year award. Custy said the fact we have so many players happy just collecting the big wages tells you we signed the wrong type of footballer. Game time over money. Custy, but these are the same footballers that when I've been calling it out, myself and others for years, people have told us we're negative. So, for example, when Stella and I have been calling out some of these players for years and years, we're told you're negative, back the managers. If Conte wanted him, if Jose wanted him, if Nuno wanted him, if Poch wanted him. And now, look, we're in a position where everyone's going, oh, my God, I can't believe we can't get rid of these players. Same thing's going to happen, I can assure you, with Brennan Johnson. Same thing's going to happen. I can tell you right now. Phil said if they are young players that can hit the ground running and that are going to be an improvement on the squad, if they're young players just on loan, out, no thank you. Yeah, I mean, I get you, but I do get you. But for me, I feel like what we're going to do is we're going to keep going to the Middlesbroughs, the Blackburns, the Norwiches, take their players, and then everyone will go, oh, this player, oh, he's special. Give him a few years. What about now? What about right now, dropping in a player right now that we go, yes, you can fire us to glory. Yes, you improve us. For what? Ask the question again, but why? Does he deserve some credit? For what? What would you like me to give him credit for? And I'll answer it. Good morning, Tigara. So big up, 7 morning, mate. Hi to all in the chat. Hope you're all well. Yes, I'm well. Hopefully everyone else is well. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. One and only said Gill is better than Johnson, but that ain't saying much. I mean, for me, neither are good enough. Hill is technically a very good player, but with no output. Brennan Johnson is technically not a good player for me with no real output. I think you'll get a couple of assists and goals from him in the season, but not a lot else. John Clark said for Hill and his career, he needs to leave, just not built for the Prem. I don't even think it's the Prem. I watched him in Spain. He does the same thing. I just don't know what he is, if I'm brutally honest. I just don't know what he is. There have been players his size before that have come to the Premier League and done really well. I think if you're good enough, you're good enough. Yes, Walker. It was a long time ago now, though, Brandon, wasn't it? We sold Carl Walker, what, in 2017, maybe? He's been with City for many years now. I'd love more signings. I just don't know if we've got the appetite for it, if I'm brutally honest. Stanley Kusher said, we've had poor scouting for years, let's be honest, and we can't sell them for what we would want. Absolutely. Philly has said Stephen Bergwijn with a club broke even. Nick E. Brown has said Santiago is currently not good enough. I mean, we'd like to see, but clearly the manager doesn't think he's good enough. Ash said 23 million for Ericsson. I mean, yeah, I mean, even, you know, it's okay money, isn't it? But we don't seem to sell anyone for big money to really reinvest. This is as good as it probably gets, Ash. You're right. Stanikush said Tony has only hit 20 Premier League goals in a season once. Better in Championship and League One. Whoa. I mean, if he's better in the Championship and League One, doesn't say a lot for the rest of the strikers that have never hit 20 Premier League goals in a season, does it? What is going on in Man City? Where are they facing investigations? Apparently, they've set a date. I don't know. I saw this yesterday. Apparently, they've set a date. Apparently, we're going to find out very, very soon. But there's a lot of things they need to check out at City, isn't there? So I don't think anyone thought this was ever going to be a quick turnaround. Their lawyers are going to bury this in paperwork beyond paperwork beyond paperwork. This will not be a quick fix. Tony, for 100 million, I'd rather go for Lautaro Martinez. I like Lautaro Martinez. No one's gone and taken him. He always says he's happy there. So, but I would definitely look at him. Stanley Kush said Vlahovic would be a good addition. When we say it's a different league, I never know why that makes any difference. The whole Premier League is foreign. Everyone's come from a different league. All of this, they're not built for the Premier League. And couldn't they do it in the Premier League? The Premier League is all the other leagues' best players that just come over here. The Premier League's hardly any British players anymore. So, yeah. Q7, big up to you, my friend. Where you been? Not seen you for ages. So we're not making any big name signings in Jan. From next month, with everyone fit in midfield and attack, 13 players. No one besides PEH may be sold. So I don't think we should expect anyone. Yeah, reasonable. I think we all live in hope that one day it will be different. I think we all live in hope. Maybe everyone has subscribed already, but I truly doubt it. Vlahovic is injury prone. So is Romero. You still want him in the team, right? Bentoncourt's just missed a year. Maddison, he has injuries. Basuma has a lot of injuries. So does Sarr. So does Van der Ven. So, I mean, I don't know where we're going with this. In my opinion, Phillips went up at West Ham. Moisey, like a good. I think that'd be a good move for him. I think that would be a good move for him, to be honest, to West Ham. But West Ham also need forwards. They've just lost all three of their forwards. I think Gallagher is like Bowen and James or Prowse, so underrated. It blows my mind. All three would walk into our team. I agree with you completely. I completely agree with you. I really, really do. Leah said, I know Gallagher top stats, but who goes by stats these days? Well, most of the country, apparently. Look, the thing is, you need all sorts in your squad makeup. You need lots of players that do different things. Look at Liverpool. All of their midfielders do something different, right? You need a squad of them as well. Liverpool have got 7 midfielders to play across 4 competitions. If we go into Europe next year, we're going to need more midfielders as well. And I just think for the work rate you need to play in a Postecoglou team, for his engine, for his dribbling with the ball, his driving forward, his interceptions, his getting into the box, I just think it's a no-brainer for me. I just think it's a no-brainer. Can't imagine a man who lives and breathes Chelsea wanting to play well for Spurs. It's not about wanting to play well. If he signed, he'd play well, right? But wanting to play for Spurs is a different matter, isn't it? But listen, money talks. Money talks. Stanikush has said Donnelly and Santiago are as good as Rowe and they're free. Well, this is what I don't get. We were constantly linked with these young players from lower leagues, but surely we've got some good ones in our youth team, haven't we? Everyone raves about it, and then we never see it. I would like to bring in Branthwaite, Hackney, Jimenez, and an elite winger. For me, I'd like to bring in Jimenez and an elite winger. Hackney, I'll ask the question, do we need another young midfielder? Branthwaite, I'd love him. He'll be really expensive. English tax will be real on him. Let's be brutally honest about this. Shafay, big up to you, my friend, that said, morning, Savva. With how out of control player prices have become, do you see a player going for 200 million sometime in the future? Yeah. I mean, we've already had one, right? We've already had one. I think it was it Neymar going to PSG? I'm pretty sure he was 200 plus, or was it Mbappe? One of them went for 200 plus. But yeah, I do think we will. I do think we will at some point. But FFP is going to try and stop that. I mean, if you spend £200 million on one player, you need to be selling some players to make that money back, right? And a £200 million player is going to have what, £1 million in wages a week? I don't know. Kate has said this problem, don't buy quality for the first team. Does Levy want this club to win the Premier League instead of always fourth? It's Levy. He's got ambition. Well, listen, I think this is the thing. As a club, where do we want to go to? If it's fourth and fourth only, keep doing what we're doing. If you want to win a title, if you want to challenge, I don't just mean 1 year. If you want to challenge year in, year out, you've got to buy the best players. You've got to buy top players. You can't just constantly buy kids and hope that they come good. Costa del Spurs said the overall revenue made in 2022-23 could be pushing the 500 million mark. That's more match day revenue than anyone else. I think this will make us more ambitious in the windows. I mean, I've been hearing this for years, though, Costa del Spurs, and I never see us ambitious in windows. I heard this when 10, 15 years ago, before we built the stadium, or the new stadium will allow us to buy more expensive players, better players. Hasn't happened. I've been hearing it the last few years. All the constants, the revenue hasn't happened. So for me, I'll if it's okay, I'll keep my lid on that one, because I hear it a lot. I don't see it ever. Mehdi Taremi to Inter Milan on a free transfer is a good bit of business. Goal scorer. He scores goals. Gift Orban to Leon. I think Gift Orban will use Leon as a stepping stone. I think he'll score a lot of goals there. He's a very good player. He's had a difficult start to the year, but he's a very good player. People have done what they already do to players. Because he hasn't scored the volume of last season. It's, glad we didn't get him. Good player. Walks into our team, this lad. Walks into our team. Kate said it's going to take 4 to 5 years to sort Man City, get a solicitor $5,000. Listen, it's going to take a while. Man City will have lawyers for fun. Asher said James Ward-Prowse doesn't get in our first team for me. I suppose it depends who you're playing. It depends who you're playing, right? For me, I would love that set piece, Listen, I like James Ward-Prowse. I think I'd have him as part of my squad. And then, on rotation, I would definitely get him in the team. But I think what we've got to do, again, I said this a million times, is we always talk about an 11, an 11, an 11. It's a squad game. Gallagher, James Ward-Prowse, these are players who would be brilliant in our squad. Brilliant over the course of 60 games if you're playing in Europe, etc. Think Villa will regret letting Jadon Philogene leave so cheap, blitzing up the Championship for an average hole this season. Yeah, sure. But, when you look at Villa, look at the players they've got above him at the moment are much, much better. I see people saying, Man City will regret letting Cole Palmer go. Why? They're just bringing through people like Oscar Bob. You know what I mean? It doesn't... I don't know if they'll regret it, but I do like him when I've seen him, Jadon Philogene, stepping up. Now, that's a different thing, Foxy, as we know, stepping up to the next level. I would rather Morgan Gibbs-White than Gallagher. Very different footballers. Very, very different footballers, Philly. I'd take both. I would love both of them in my squad. I'm thinking bigger picture. For me, if my midfielders were Bentancur, Basuma, Sarr, Gallagher, and Gibbs-White, I'd be so pleased with that as a five central midfield options. Look at Liverpool, Gravenberch, Endo, Soboslai, McAllister, Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones. They've got that young Bastatic who broke into the first team last year. Options. You watch Liverpool when they play, always rotate their midfielders. That's what we're going to have to get used to next year. Basuma's injury prone. So is Sarr. Sarr, you can see it already, right? Maddison is. Bentancur, the problems he's had. It's going to be games where you've got to rotate, and I don't want Skips and Højbjergs coming in. I think we've got to stop doing the either or. We need to bulk out our squad. Bulk out. I would definitely take him all day long. I can never say his name. Whenever I watch him for Real Sociedad, I really like him. I like their whole midfield. Mikel Merino, Zubamendi, Kubo. I like all of them. Tony, big up. As said, no one should feel sure of their spot in the starting 11. Everyone must feel that someone is breathing down their neck. Yes, which is why I can't stand it when people just talk about 11s. I've never understood it. I think when people talk about 11s, it shows you that we've not won trophies. Teams with an 11 very rarely win trophies. And if they do, it's never regularly. People will always point to Leicester. It's a one-off. Yeah, but regularly winning trophies, squads win you. Savva, what did you make of Pavlyuchenko? Pavlyuchenko was a decent forward. Yeah, I mean, I'd love Pavlyuchenko now compared to the strikers we've got. For me, yeah. I liked Pav. I mean, he was what he was. He wasn't a world-class player, but he was good. He was a cult figure at Spurs. Eze and or Elise. See, these are the sort of signings I look at and go, yes. That's what I want to see. Eze's stroke Elise's. Something with a bit of difference in their footwork. By the way, smash that like button, people. Come on, let's smash that like button. There's only 143 likes, over 250 of you in here. Smash that button. And please keep subscribing. We're only 8 away from the 12,870. So it would really be appreciated. Back at 3 p.m. I'm not going anywhere just yet, by the way. But we're back at 3 p.m. for Football Fever with Kaz. And with Monster Day, as Dan Potts is otherwise engaged. And then at 8 p.m, join myself, Stell and Will from Tottenham Away, Haas from Southview Coys for Spurs Unleashed. Whenever Will, me and Stella are in the same panel, you're going to get some entertainment. Phyllis said, can't wait to see Maddison back on the pitch. He makes us tick. Yeah, for sure. You know what? You can have as many Sars, Basumas, you can have as many Kulus on the pitch as you want, and Richarlisons and Werners and Porros. These are the players that make the difference. These are the ones that make you tick. You're right. Agree with you on this one, mate. Elise over Eze. Listen, I'll take either of them. I don't care. I'll take either of them. Richard Pugh said it's always good to have a set piece specialist in your team. Look how much we have improved for having Porro on corners. If the free kicks were flying in too, then we kick on. Look, I agree. Set pieces are so underrated. So underrated. I completely agree with you. Man City hearing for 2025 due to UEFA own investigation. Look, I guess the bigger the case, the longer it's going to rumble on. Oh, I'm going to skirt over that. Gibbs White is not going to do what Gallagher is going to do. Well, they're very different players, aren't they? They're very different players. Listen, I feel we always match up players that aren't the same and then go, oh, he's better than him. But they're different. Morgan Gibbs White is a bit more get on the ball, a bit more technical, sees what's around him, creates. Gallagher is your ultimate squad midfielder. He will break up play, interceptions. He's got the most dribbles in Europe, the most interceptions in Europe. He gets into the box more than any other midfielder in Europe. So for me, both. If we're a big club with ambitions, you should be looking at both these two types of players. I'm not saying it has to be these two, but you can get more than one. Would we prefer FA Cup or top four this year? I don't ever answer questions like that. Both. Should be both. If we're serious, both. Just for me. Sta has said either Jonathan Rowe, Antonio Nusa or Valencia should be signed and loaned back. Then sign Eze Release in the summer. That's our wings. Yeah, but I don't want to sign another player and loan them. At what point do we say, right, let's bring in a top winger and drop him into the team? Why do we have to constantly bring players in on loan and loan them out or bring young players in and loan them out? At what point do we want to act like a big club? Yeah, do Man City do this a lot? Here's a question I'll ask you, and you've got to use them as a benchmark. When Man City bring in players, they're in and around that first team in year one. They might not be starting every game. Look at Grealish, year one. Right? Look at Julian Alvarez, year one. Right? Look at Rico Lewis coming into the first team in year one. Might not play every single game, but they're playing. They're getting game time. Then they're on the bench for a couple of games. Then they're playing again. I just feel like we keep wanting to bring in these players and loan them out, and I think we've got to change that if we agree. Stanikush has said we need 22, not 11 good, solid team players. Kate has said a problem. We need a good bench. Got a good squad. Good squad. If you've got a good squad, you've got a good bench, right? It's how Liverpool have dealt with Matip being out. Like I know people say to me, "Oh, no one's had the injuries we have." Liverpool have lost Joel Matip for the entire. So far, he's missed the entire season. So has Andy Robertson. They've missed two of their back four for 21 games now, right? But they've got players in reverse. They've missed Bastic. They've missed Thiago Alcantara for the entire season, but they've got players in reserve. Luis Diaz missed something like 10 games or 11 games. So did Jota. He missed 8 or 9 games. You've got to have players behind that. And that's the reason why when people say without our injuries, the difference is the other clubs are bringing on better players to replace them. We've got to get to that stage, which is why I want us to go, which is why I want us to be looking better than, no offense, Jonathan Rowe could be a great player in a few years. I'm not doubting that, but hey, it is what it is. Paul has said, hopefully Ange's demanding we get these top quality players in. I hope so, but, so far under him, I have seen, Solomon, who's okay, Werner, 50-50, Brennan Johnson, Valise, Phillips. There's been a lot of players that have come in that have been underwhelming. So we'll see. We'll see. Leah said Madder's going to push on to win the FA Cup like he did when he won the league. He didn't win the league, by the way. Madders won the FA Cup for Leicester. He wasn't in the team that won the league. Yeah, the league season was before his time there. Did you say Will Stewart? Yes, I know you'll be there. You love going at Will, don't you? You love going at Will. It's funny though. We haven't seen you for ages. Have you got over Arsenal not being as good as you thought? But big up to you. Big up to you. Foxy said yes, true. Villa has strengthened the squad well. I meant regret selling Philogene more financially. Possibly. Think Philogene will move to the Prem next summer for a lot more. No, of course. And I think that's, Spurs had that with, what's his name? at Chelsea. Why can't I think of his name? Madueke. You know, you get it a lot, don't you? But at the time, you can do what you got to do. Me too, Dan. Now, players. Now. Let's get some in now. Let's push now. We're in a lovely position now to push. In the summer, you don't know what Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Villa, you don't know what these clubs are going to do. So, you know, never take it for granted. Too many years where we've done well, but never kicked on. Got to kick on. Keep kicking on. Savva, with Man City's 115 charges, what do you think will happen to them? Do you think they will get relegated? Mate, I've got no idea. Some of their charges, though, we say 115. Some of them are like the grass was too long. One of them was about the grass being too long. One was something about shirt sponsorship. I don't know. It's just, I don't think it will be as bad as what fans want it to be, but we'll see, won't we? Who knows? Who knows? A lot of City young signings in Jan get loaned back at Julian, Algeria, and the new Argentina player. Yes, but they've not bought them for now. They've got so many. The difference is when they do it, Charlton, the problem is they've got so many top players in front of them that they're clearly bought for the future. What Spurs are doing is constantly doing this. We don't bring in the now players. Like Man City will bring in Jeremy Doku for now, which means that this Echeverry they bring in can go back on loan. Spurs don't do that. We don't do that. And if you want to be the best, you gotta do what the best do. Richard has said a top 11 players wins games, a top team wins titles. Absolutely. Big up, keep smashing the like. Let's get it to 200. Only 152 at the moment. And thank you. We have had one subscriber throughout the entire show. Really disappointing numbers this morning. It must be put into the genes of Spurs fans. FFP and VAR are ruining football. Kick out of the game now before it's too late. Football is dying. Phil, we don't always agree on everything. This we 100% agree on. I don't know who FFP is helping, and a VAR is not helping anyone. Did you see the other day? I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Who saw this? I think it was yesterday. They showed the footage of them giving the penalty against Kulusevski. They showed the footage, and it was like they looked at it for like 3 minutes. I mean, did you need it to see that Kulusevski blatantly pulled his shirt and it was a penalty? That should have been watched one replay. Yep, penalty. Why on earth did it take 3 minutes? It's a calamity. It's farcical. Absolutely. This. Stanley Goose said City will not get relegated, just points, possibly in fines, which won't hurt them. Yeah, they might lose a lot of points. So what? They'll just keep going, won't they? Absolutely, Shem. Absolutely. Last season, the difference between Man City and Arsenal was the difference in a strong squad. Arsenal lost a couple of players and the whole thing fell apart. City will lose those players and still do it. And that's the huge difference. Man City have just had half a season without Kevin De Bruyne. They've missed Erling Haaland for the last 9 games, right? 9 games, which is more games than Romero's missed, by the way. And everyone talks about, but we've missed Romero, right? 9 games is about the same amount of games Van de Ven missed. And but if we had Van de Ven, De Bruyne has missed the whole season until the last 30 minutes against Newcastle. Video completed said, I'll bring in Jimenez, Elise, Gallagher and Tosin. I'd be very happy if that was our window. I really would. Pat Butcher has said, Salah gone to the African Cup. Yep. Not to mention Liverpool lost 3 key midfielders last summer. Yep. And they're still up there and they've still got abundance of players. But Lee says, thank you. I didn't know that. That's why I like your channel. Listen, Lee, always here. Phil Coys, Stack Rose says, City actually do loan out. No, you've missed this has gone right over people's heads. This has gone right over people's heads, what I've said here about City and young talent. This has gone right over their heads. Phil has said, we need to keep up with the pack and not fall away. Improve and freshen up to squad every season. Strengthen from a position of strength, Phil. Absolutely. Two of the best players this year we bought and loaned out in Sarr and Udogie. So the system does work, but I agree. Listen, I'm not saying it. It's going over people's heads. It's going over people's heads. It's going over people's heads. I can't keep saying it. I'm not going to keep saying it. If people are not understanding what I mean, and I can't help. Big up, Louis. Big up. Yeah, Stewie says hello. He's just having a little nap, mate, in his basket. Just having a little nap. But thank you very much, Louis. Tony has said, Jack, shit is going to happen to City. They rule the entire world of football. There are way too many brown envelopes. Look, I don't know about brown envelopes, but I can't see anything massively happening to them. Mighty Spurs. This has got to be. Who was a better player for Spurs? Not even mentioning those. What are we talking about? Spurs. Surf South said, if Spurs are to progress, we may need to sell some of our key assets. Maybe sell Romero, Richarlison and Kulu, bring in Bramthwaite, Jimenez and Nusa. Look, for me, it's not about which one we sell, but as you move and grow as a club, there will be players that leave each year. And this is what the bigger clubs do. They will lose their players and go again without being upset. If Spurs sold a player, we would be delirious. If Spurs did sell Romero, people would lose their minds. For me, so you sell a player, cool. Go and get another one. You've got to listen. I'm not saying Romero, by the way. People, please hear what I'm saying. You've got to keep moving. You've got to keep growing. Man United, throughout their dominance with Alex Ferguson, players that were being let go: Roy Keane, David Beckham, Varane, Van Nistelrooy. Look, I mean, Stam, Vidic. I mean, they just top players went and they just kept evolving. Evolving is the word. You've got to keep evolving. We get too emotionally attached. I don't care if we sell any of our players. If we sell a player and the club reinvest it properly with a couple of better players, I'm all for it. Or a couple of better players that fit into the system. I'm all for it. But, I mean, I'm not going to say who those should be. But for me, Richarlison, I've got no problem selling him anyway. Kulu, the same for me. Romero, if you've got another top centre-half, sure. But you keep evolving. And, you know, if someone came in and said there's 80 million for Romero, but you're going to buy Itakura. So you've now got Itakura, Van der Ven, and Dragoshin, and Tosin. Sure, do it. As long as that £80 million is being pumped into the team for two quality players. You've got to keep evolving. I don't get emotional about players. I really don't. We're live next at 3 p.m. and then 8 p.m. for the Spurs Unleashed. Matt said it worked out with Sarr and Udogie loaning back. Some YouTubers wanted us to sign Kostic from Juventus over Udogie. Turns out we pulled a masterstroke. No, Matt, you've missed what I've said. Matt has missed what I've said completely. As always, you've missed what I've said. There's nothing wrong with doing this. But at some point, you've got to buy players that you drop in now. Yeah? You've got to now. By the way, Papa Sarr had 2 years at this club before he started playing. So when we say, you know, masterstrokes, 2 years, nothing came from that signing. So we've got to, I'm talking about dropping in players now. Why is a lot of our fan base incapable of seeing a bigger picture? Why is it that if you've got ambitions to be a top team and want to really compete, it's looked down upon? I'll never understand it. Some people are so desperate to defend the football club rather than want to be a better football club. I don't understand it. Matt, you fit into that bracket perfectly, I'm afraid. I see you in here every day. I love your comments, but come on, man. Listen, yeah, loaning Udogie back was great. Loaning Sarr back, we didn't loan. I mean, Sarr was 2 years. For 2 years, when we needed midfielders, this kid was out on loan. You know, for every two that work, there's many examples where it doesn't. Wow, big up, Q7 of a massive super chat. Thank you so much, Q7 with the massive super chat, and most people can't even like and subscribe. So big up to you. Said always here lurking, bruv, or just getting too famous for me now. God, I don't know about that. Had a little back and forth with Ali Gold the other day over Johnson. He wasn't happy. I said he shouldn't start, and he threw GAs at me. I said he has moments, not good games. Yeah, but Ali Gold is a mouthpiece for the club, isn't he? He's bound to say that. If you want a real opinion, you can't go to Ali Gold. He's paid by the football club. I don't know why people don't understand this. Look, I agree with you completely. For me, he'll get some assists, but just watch him play. Is that what you want to watch play? Not for me. The stat merchants have killed football. I've been a football fan, as I'm sure you have, for a very long time. I've been a football fan for 40 years. And never more than the last 5 years have I heard so much nonsense chatted about stats. And they go, oh, the eye test. What do you mean the eye test? This is what we watch football with. We watch football with our eyes. But big up to you, Q7. I really, really do appreciate that. Very, very generous. And thank you so much, brother. I really do appreciate that. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Many teams. Yeah, listen, Adogi, good player. Lot to learn, by the way. Got a lot to learn. Good player. I think everyone knows I don't praise players so quickly. I can't believe someone's just unsubscribed. I give up. On the subscribers, I absolutely give up. Free content. Charlton King, this is not Sal's second season in our squad. This is not Sal's second season in our squad. This is his third season in our squad. So he's been here 2 years. Yeah, Fergie got rid of Chelsea, Hughes, McClare, Inter in the space of a year. Can you imagine? Yeah, Bill, this is it. Our fans want to win things, but then we have such a small mentality. For me, right? For me, I don't care. If bids come in for top players, right? Look at Liverpool. Coutinho went, and with that money, they bought Van Dijk and Alisson. At some point, you've really got to kick on. I'm not saying sell everyone. I'm just saying if it happened in the future, I won't cry about it. Yeah? Stanica said, I'm cool selling anyone, but we have to replace with genuine quality. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Peter said 4 of our summer signings are first-team starters. Vicario, Maddison, VDV and Johnson. Jagrusin and Ravel have already made their debuts. How are we not buying now players? No, Peter, you've again, it's gone over the point. I mean, Brennan Johnson, are we calling Brennan Johnson? If you think Brennan Johnson's good enough, great. Yeah? Yeah? Werner, I'm not counting him. He's on loan. Dragoshin, right? Let's see how many games he plays between now and the end of the season before we start saying about a now player. Let's see how many games he starts. Look, listen, I love it. You've picked out a few there, but what about Valise? Solomon, Phillips. Yeah, there's just 3 from the last window. Valise, Solomon, Phillips. Timo Werner is not going to play every game. Dragoshin is not going to play every game. Johnson's not that good. Vicario, Maddison and Van der Ven, absolutely. But I feel like, again, I've tried to... I feel like everything I'm saying is going over people's heads. They really don't get it. It's fine. It's fine. They really don't get it. Brennan Johnson, for me, if he's a now player, then people have got to stop. Peter, make up your minds. If Johnson is a now player, people need to stop saying, give him time, he's only young. If he's a now player, that's what I'm talking about, right? Oh, I just don't get it. A stacker, I can't debate this silly point anymore. I think people are missing the point completely. Yeah. I'm sorry, sir. Charlton King, we signed him 2.5 years ago. He's been a part of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club for 2.5 years, right? He's gone out on loan. Then he went out on loan again. Then he had a couple of games last year because we had no injuries. And this year he's broken into the team. This is his 3rd year at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. He didn't play in 23, second season. No, we can't just say because we sent him on loan that this is his 2nd year. This is his 3rd year as a Tottenham Hotspur footballer. His 3rd year. Come on, I don't know what we're doing here. What is happening? I've no idea what's going on here. I can't be wrong. He's been at Spurs since 2021. This is his 3rd season at Tottenham Hotspur. This is his 3rd year at Tottenham. And for 2 years, we've seen nothing. So my whole point is this. Yes, if you buy them and then you've got to wait till the 3rd year to see anything from them, that's brilliant. But not everyone we can do that with. That's my point, right? Oh, God. Oh, God. Tony said there are far too many fans in our fan base who are satisfied with mediocrity and defend just about everything the club does. I really don't get it. Look, absolutely, Tony. This is it. This is it. We can do whatever. Listen, I'm going to stop the stream because I'm losing subscribers here, and I'm getting really frustrated. I don't understand. I come on every morning, read out everyone's comment, have football debates, and then people just unsubscribe the moment they hear one thing they disagree with. So I really, really, I just can't deal with people like this. Yes. This is a doggy's been a Spurs player for 2 years. Whether he's out on loan or not doesn't mean he's not a Spurs player. He's a Spurs player. Adekunle has said, why is it difficult for everyone to say Skip is not good enough for Tottenham? I don't know why. Look, this is another one. We've had this for years. Yeah, young Lee Scott, I get this every day. If we actually have any kind of heated conversation, people go, oh my God, Savva disagrees. I'm unsubscribing. What they want to do is they want to go and watch. They want to go and watch YouTubers that don't read out their comments, don't interact with them, but say all the nice things they like. That's fine. Go and do that. I'm trying to give people a platform, and then all I get every day in the last 4 days, death threats. Someone saying, "Oh, Henry and Sean have got more subscribers than you." Okay, you know, this, that, the other. You're a child. You're racist. It's like it does feel like it gets. It gets a little bit frustrating. I try and read out everyone's comments. I've tried to create a platform where everyone can come on, where it's okay to disagree. No one's being rude to anyone else. We're just disagreeing or agreeing, and just constantly not the support back that I need. So it's very, very frustrating. Oh, dearie me. THFC are back and said, I don't think Johnson is that good, but I'm willing to give him a chance. There's the difference, right? Why? The difference between me and you, I don't want to be giving players like that a chance. I want to buy better footballers. I've got bigger aims and ambitions than wanting to give Brennan Johnson a chance. As I said, Liverpool, Man City don't buy players like that. They don't buy footballers like that. No one can show me a footballer like Brennan Johnson that would sign for Liverpool, Man City, and it is what it is. Johnson is a maybe later player. Yeah, I just like yeah. Look, it is what it is. Big up, Lee. I do appreciate it. Look, it's all good. It just does get a little bit frustrating, right? I can tell whenever a conversation gets heated, whether it's with me and someone else, some people love it and other people go, oh, I'm not watching that. And then they just need to throw an insult at me, which is fine, but it is what it is. Young Lee Scott said, don't worry. Yeah, listen, it just is what it is. Q7 has said, Skip is not good enough. Anyone that rates him when you ask when he's done, they mention Norwich. Yeah, doesn't that say? Yeah, absolutely. But for years we've had this, right? Yeah, for years we've had this with players. Winks, Skip, Dyer, people, Lamella, Sissoko, Ndombele. Still, even now with Lo Celso, 5 years on, people are trying to find out why he's been a good signing. 5 years down the line, Sessegnon, the same will happen with Brennan Johnson. He's okay, but he shouldn't be anywhere near a Tottenham team for me. If we've got aspirations to win things, you need better for me. Big up, Richard. So remember, people, it's okay to disagree with opinions. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't do anything you don't want it to do. Stop this victim mentality and being stronger in your conviction. Agreed, Richard. Absolutely agreed. And I need to take that advice on myself. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm just, do you know what? When I first started a YouTube channel, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to be different. I'm going to keep this how I would normally be when talking football with my mates. I'm going to make this, everyone can have their say. If I don't agree, we'll just go back and forwards. And some people get really offended by it. Like, they put their comment in. I read it out. Oh, I can't believe you disagreed with someone's comment. Well, sorry. What should I do? Just agree? John or Emma said, difference is, Sam, unfortunately for us, City, Liverpool are a different galaxy to us and always will be. We can't compete. We can, we don't. Huge difference. We can. Look at the money this football club has got. We're nowhere near FFP. Why couldn't we, for example, gone and got a better footballer than Brennan Johnson? There's no there's no there's no way. There's no way that people say we can't compete. We couldn't buy we couldn't buy better than Brennan Johnson. Absolutely we could. Beyond 72 said, my first ever comment on Savva's show was telling him his show was getting shit worse after him and his panel were talking about selling Son. We disagreed, no personal attacks. Big up. Michael Chinner said, I have watched you for a while, Savva, and love your honesty. Keep up the great work. Yeah. The Rude Boy Santa said, Ferran Torres never did too well at City. I'd still have Ferran Torres over Brennan Johnson any day of the week. And what happened with Ferran Torres? Tell me what happened with Ferran Torres. Here's the difference. See, this is I knew you'd be in here trying to prove me wrong on something. Ferran Torres, right, wasn't the best player, still did a job. And what did Man City do? One season in, sold him. Watch how long we'll keep Brennan Johnson for. Watch how long we'll keep him in for. People going, he's young. Ferran Torres, when he was at Man City, would have been 20, 21. Yeah, came in, wasn't the player that they wanted. Pep, see you later, mate. Out you go. I'll bring in someone better. That's what big clubs do. What we will do is have fans going, oh, he's only young. Give him a couple of years. Top clubs don't do that. Get in, do well now, or you're out. That's a winner's mentality. That's winners. That's winners. Sissoko was a pretty good player under. Wow. See, we're still doing it. We're still doing it. We still got fans that rate players like Sissoko. He was horrible. He was a horrible footballer. Richard said, if Brennan Johnson was all that, why were the other top teams not in for him? I just don't think he's. Yeah, it is what it is. I saw Henry say yesterday on This Is Football. I don't know if this is true, by the way. I haven't seen this. That if Ange finished top 4 but doesn't win a trophy, it's failure. Now, I don't know how anyone could say this. How on earth could anyone say that is failure? Taking a team from 8th with no style of play, losing Harry Kane, getting them up the league into 4th place, implementing a philosophy, buying in some good players, and we want to turn around and say it'll be failure. No, I can't believe that this was said. Sorry, I'm not having that. I can't believe this was said. That can never be considered failure. Context. Context. You asked a question, I just provide a player. Yeah, but what did I say? But context again, Rude Boy saying context. Ferran Torres came in much better, by the way, than Brennan Johnson. Much better. Didn't work out. See you later. Watch what we do with Brennan Johnson. If he doesn't work out, we'll keep him for years and years and years, and our fans will find a way of convincing themselves that he will come good or that he is a good player. It's what we do. And what you do is you always have to go at me. I know you by now, the Rude Boy sound. We saw it with your ridiculous Solomon comparison yesterday. I would sell Brennan before the league sees how shit he is. I don't think he's shit. I just think he's a very average winger. It's okay to not think a player's good, by the way. It's okay. If we finish top 4, Ange has overachieved. I think in year 1 he would have overachieved. I don't think anyone had us down for top 4. I think he would have definitely overachieved. And I said that all year. I think realistically, I've said 5th to 7th at the beginning of the season. We're sitting 5th. I think we're definitely going to get Europe. It will be a good year. But all of this, it's a failure if he doesn't win a trophy in year 1. I mean, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here? What's happened to our... last year, people in the summer, people were talking about not wanting Ange, right? Not wanting Ange. Harry Kane's leaving. Oh, my God, we're going to finish mid-table. To now, it's failure if we finish 4th and don't win a cup. Come on. Where's the realism? Where's the context? Come on. Johnson is 5 weeks younger than VDV and hit the ground running from a shit league. Just saying. I don't think Germany's a shit league, but I hear what you're saying. We know that Ange wanted Johnson at Celtic, so this one may be on Ange. I think they're all on Ange. He said all of these signings are his. All the players are on Ange, right? So that's the way it is. Managers have to take the brunt of it. That's the way it is. Leah said, well said, Savva, 4th place at the start of the season, everyone would have taken it, but they wouldn't now and want to go for it. Debate now. Look, if we got 4th, I think it'll be amazing. I think it'll be an amazing season to finish 4th. And I get called negative. I think it'll be amazing. Look, 5th's a very good year. 4th's an amazing year. Anything higher than that, give the guy a statue. But I'll say this again. You've got to kick on from that. It can't just be that, what a good year, we stop. You've got to go, okay, brilliant. We finished 4th. What do we do in this summer to go 4th to there? How do we bridge that gap? How do we stay up there and stay consistent whilst navigating European football as well? We can stand here and cry all we want. Johnson will be in 5 years. How many years of Skip, Winks and Dombele Tanga? Yeah, I agree. Motivation has said, Savva, come on. Sissoko wasn't a horrible player. For me, I thought he was crap. I think he's an awful footballer. Another one that I watched before he came and went, why are we buying him? But we did. But he did. Savva, the revenue we get from the stadium, we should be getting. No excuse to be getting quality players. I didn't want Jonathan or Richarlison. You say how it is, and I always watch you. Big up, Kate. Listen, I agree. We do praise a lot of average players. We really, really do. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. SP Skywalker said, can't wait now until we offload Tungai, GLC, PH, Cess, Reggie, Roden, Jaffet, Hill, Skip. God, all of these players at one stage or another, by the way, have been backed by our fans saying they'll come good, they're young. Seen it over and over again. Can't agree with you more. Philly has said too many fans want to be accountants. Guess what? What? Daniel Levy will never hire you to do the books. No. How many excuses you just justify his behaviour? Hang on. Surf South has said, these Muppets keep mentioning how long we haven't won a trophy. Forget about the past. Think about now and the future. Agreed. Savva, what homegrown players would you take other than Johnson? In the window, I would have taken Cole Palmer for a start. I would have taken Anthony Gordon for a start. Jesus Christ. I mean, there's 2 straight away. But they didn't have to be homegrown. Homegrown could be somewhere else on the pitch, right? Didn't need to be that our winger was homegrown. I don't want to hear about anything about this homegrown player shite. Johnson's is simply not good enough. I agree with you. Guys and girls, we are going to leave it there. Listen, oh, no, we're not sorry. A D&B Forever, I just put in a super sticker. That's very, very kind of you. So thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Look, we're 7 likes away from 200. Can we get that in the next 120 seconds before the show ends? That would be really, really good. And if we can get 2 subs to get us back to 12,860, that would be amazing as well. So please smash that button. I really enjoy the back and forths. I think it keeps the conversations fresh and growing, and we're allowed to disagree. Listen, there's people in here who are never rude, but always disagree with me. That's fine. You know, Rude Boy Sound is never rude. He always picks at me, but I will pick back at him. It's fine. Me and Phil Coys, we don't always agree, but it's never rude. Let's keep the conversations going. So if we can get 2 more subs in the next 60 seconds, that would be really appreciated and would make me feel so much better about everything. 3 p.m, I'll be live with Monts and Kaz for Spurs Fever, an hour to talk about all things football. And then at 8 p.m. tonight, Spurs Unleashed, myself, Will Stewart, Stelios, and Haas. So please join me and the boys at 8 p.m. tonight. Yeah, absolutely, Bill. Absolutely. Brandon has said Musa Sissoko was horrendous watching him control the ball. Yeah, he was a terrible player. But again, we have fans that say, oh, he was good. No, he wasn't. He was awful. Come on, people. Can we get 1 more subscriber? Surely we can get it. And we can get the 200 likes. Big up to each one of you. Take care, everyone. We'll see you later. Everybody, much love. See you later. And as always, come on, you Spurs.